Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros. I'm your host, Clutch Crypto. We did start pumping up into those areas that we talked about yesterday, but there was some consolidation and we didn't quite get up there. So let's jump to the charts and see what's going on. B. Wellington, what you got, dog?
All right, let me jump into it. Let me pull up the charts. We can go from there. So let me share the screen. Um, we're going to pull it up. So this is ETH USDT as we always take a look at. So we're going to start off. Uh, let's see here. So let's get everything situated and we get a little market cipher on here.
Hey, you know what I noticed about this free program that the original Market Cipher, when we did it a long time ago, didn't have?
What?
It's got the big red dots. You remember the red and the green dots?
Right.
No, but I mean you might have to go back to a smaller time frame, but you'll see when there's a lot of the red dots, you have the big solid red dot kind of like above it as a
Yeah, I mean, you got like some smaller ones here, but yeah, no, you know, it's definitely, it's not it's not exactly the same as the other one, but yeah, I like this one. Just, it's almost like the TLDR or whatever that indicator was. It just kind of tells you, momentum. I think this, for me, I guess because we started off on it, looks a little bit, you know, it can work better for that. But anyway, let's hop into it. We got markets just open as far as New York futures are concerned, 836. So, same story, pumped up, came back down, broke through. We're still within this candle here, right? So this candle, the big drawdown that we had, we're still trading within that candle and kind of have a rising wedge, if you will, on this end. And so we'll see what happens. Like you mentioned before, we had a little bit of a pump up, and we haven't really gone anywhere. So we're coming up to the 200 on the daily. So we're between the 200 and the 50. So again, this is a highly traded area. We've rejected off this range. So what I would anticipate is that we come back up, hit this 200, and possibly come back down. If we look at the volume, really the volume hasn't been great.
where's the 200 right now? Right in do like
The 200 is at 3169
that was that same area we were talking about
or
yesterday, getting up in
3150.
that
Yeah.
area.
So we're gonna have probably a lot of liquidity in that area as well. Folks that trade off 200, trade off of the 200, trade off of the 50. But I do think we see this line being tested at some point, if not this week, the next week. Since this is the daily, we do have a lot more time for these things to play out. If we jump over to the hourly, kind of tells things on a more of a midterm basis, as far as where we're at. Um, again, we dropped down here, came back up. It looks like we rejected off of the 800, which is right at the daily open. We've come back down into this pivot point. Again, we'll just have to see if that holds. What I think you would want to see is you would want to see further retracement down into this point, maybe lower ADR, kind of retrace, take out some of the longs that have gotten on board. But this would form a nice, W formation on the hourly. And again, we've got momentum coming to the downside. RSI is pegged here. Um, it's very low, and so, and we haven't had a whole lot of volume that's come in either uh, to either side, to the upside or the downside. But just looking at everything, I would say that we've come up here, rejected off the 800, possibly come back down, to even yesterday's low. You know how they like to get back to those particular areas, but this could also be a rise, retrace, and continuation. So we'll just have to see if we get some nice vector candles that project us up, or you know, lead us up. But you would want to see some volume starting to step in, and we haven't seen that just yet. If we go to the 5 minute, again, this would kind of be for the, you know, within the next few hours here. If we're taking a look at it, let me kind of get everything situated. You know, when you start looking at this, you know, you've kind of got your ranges on a short term here: 31.26, 30.63, which is kind of this big, you know, volume node right here. Kind of depending on what we do, again, we would want to see some vectors getting back up to that daily open. If we reject from here, again, I would imagine that we come back down, take out some of the vectors that we have here, recover those on some of the lower time frames, and then you know, possibly stabilize around this area, and then head back up to the daily open. I mean, it is Thursday, right? And Thursdays are meant for, you know, I don't know if Wednesday.
Here we go, man. I think we're about to drop. I think it's about to tank. We break that wick right there, we're tanking.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got this area to recover here. So, you know, I would, you know, 30.25. You know, what we want to see is we want to see all this hold. So we don't want to see a break of, you know, what do we have down here? We don't want to see a break of 29.65 at the end of the day. So if we go to things like funding rate, funding rate is kind of mixed across the board. We've got, you know, some exchanges that are positive, some that are negative. So I know on Bybit, they have a negative funding rate at the moment, because I looked at the exchange this morning. If we look at open interest, obviously we had that rise, and another $0.1 billion is added to the books relative to OI. And so really, we've had this move up, and we really haven't had a great increase in OI. I know we've had a lot of shorts that have opened. Today, we've got a lot of news coming out, you know, as well. So today is well, I say that. We had initial jobs claims already come out, and so jobless claims are up above estimates, which is not good. So we'll see how the market reacts to that. You know, news-wise, you know, the market kind of reacts in different ways in order to get retail to do what they do. Retail sales are down. Continuing job claims, I don't know, they don't have an estimate here, but at 1.48 million, it's less than what was actually expected. So these numbers kind of contradict each other. Retail sales, excluding motor vehicles, you know, is up. You know, they say used car prices are, you know, what's really kind of driving things. If you take that out, then we're in a lot worse position than before. But, you know, as you kind of look at these numbers, import price index 2.6, that would be considered to be a negative expectation there. And then we've got some comments coming in later today. So news has come out. You know, we can kind of see what that looks like from a overall market perspective. Let me refresh this. And so Dow's up, right? We've had a big spike. NASDAQ is down. So tech is down. S&P is flat. Dow is up. Overall, if you look at cryptocurrencies here, as reported on Market Insider, BTC, ETH, Litecoin, all down for the day. News has come out, you know, but the day just started. And then if we look at things like EXO, let me just make a quick, you know, I like to look at these on a pretty long-term basis so we can accumulate the data. And while that is going, we'll pull up some of the net longs and shorts here. And so if we look over this at a longer time frame, you know, from the peak of where the longs were, obviously it's decreased as we have that decrease in pricing. You know, Shorts are kind of stepping in. Shorts are mainly coming in on a short-term basis, closing back out. That's kind of the activity that has occurred. And so we'll just continue to take a look at that. But if we look at this again, this is 2 days worth of data. POC is down at 30.19. We're kind of up in this value area. If we break up through this area, you can see that we don't have a lot of volume. You kind of have some low volume nodes here. And so we could wick all the way back up to this area, or we could then return back down to the POC. Of course, this is 2 days worth of data, so kind of have to see how it goes. But there's definitely interest up here to the upside. If I combine these even more, the POC may come back up. But if we're talking about
We lost him, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be back soon, I'm sure. Maybe. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Anyway, okay. Let's go ahead and share with you guys what we got going on here. Over here on, let's see. Let me get everything over here. Hey! Oh, there you are. We lost you. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I was just going to go ahead and finish the show. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
I see your screen, but there's nothing on it.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's try this again. How about now? Better? 1 or 2?
0. There we go. There it is.
Yeah. Okay, cool. This is High Block Capital. This is the E-chart Binance. This is something that we do look at every day. I'm having some technical difficulties. Can you see my screen?
I can see you, but I can't see your screen. It's like you're not. It's like you weren't sharing.
This thing keeps. I really think we need to get a different program other than Zoom. Having issues with it. Anyway, long story short, this is ETH Binance chart on High Block Capital. What we look at every day. As you can see, we came in. We worked into this range. We had that pump yesterday. We've come down a little bit to do some consolidation. We haven't broke yesterday's low again, but we did have a nice little drop a while ago, but that only took us down to right around the 3060 range. As you can see, a lot of short liquidations did pop up here, 3079, 3109, and 3070. So pay attention to those areas. I do expect that we're going to continue to possibly see some continuation to the upside a little later today with what we got going on here. Possibly. So pay attention if we come up into these areas. If we break the specific area of the 3140, can expect some more continuation to the upside. However, if we get rejected up there in that range, then maybe we continue the consolidation that we're dealing with, or maybe actually see some new lower lows. So that's kind of one of those things we have to pay attention to today, folks. As well as 2969 is going to be an area that we're going to be testing to go into new lows for the cycle. As you can see, we did pop up. We have positive cumulative liquidation delta right now. We were negative 4.6 billion this time yesterday morning. So let's slide over here to Bookmap, see if Bookmap tells us the same story. Slide this stuff over here. Let this update real quick, and we should be good. Okay, here we go. As you can see, we are heavily. These guys are really more or less kind of equaled out right now. You can see that CVD's kind of been hovering around negative, 19, 20 area, and that you can see that we're starting to try to fight our way back up. We do have a bunch of session volume here that's pretty heavy, so this definitely does look like a possibility of just ranging. We do have a lot of orders below us right here at this 30, 10, and 3,000 spots. So those are key levels to really pay attention to this morning, because it does look like we might be trying to get there, but I think really what's happening right now is they're just kind of baiting, setting up some traps. And then you have some more at 2950, and then of course 2900. To the upside though, we still don't have, I don't know where all these orders are at to help keep us balanced out, but they're obviously in here somewhere. There just might be a whole bunch of them spread out on when we get into the lower time frames. So with that being said, and looking at this, and then having a conversation with what B. Wellington was talking about a while ago, I mean, it really kind of looks like we're favored more to the downside, wouldn't you say?
Can you hear that?
Yeah. What's going on?
I'm over here with this guy, man. He's got music playing like 100% of the time. Normally he's asleep right now. I don't even know why he's up. But I guess he's taking a shower. He didn't realize I'm still doing the show.
Oh man, that's all good. That's all good. Well,
music.
ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for today. Pay attention to those areas and pay attention to how price reacts to those areas that we just spoke about this morning. And again, this is not financial advice, but we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a good day trading, everyone. Until next time, AM.